Peace and blessings. What's good with you? Much love and respect. We thank you for chiming in. If you're here, if you're not, if you come in later, that's great. Press the like button, share the page. We're here with an exclusive interview with my man, Dr. Jeter. Floyd Jeter, that is. He here, so make sure you tell somebody to chime in. Share the page. I really appreciate it. Much love and respect. And we're going to get started in a minute. If you can do me the favor, if you can hear me, please press 1 in the chat. I really appreciate that. Press 1 in the chat. And this particular podcast or show is sponsored by the Supreme Sunshine Shea Butter. Make sure you pick up yours. Much love. Pick up yours. So tell somebody else to chime in. You can share the page with someone else. But this is going to be an exclusive with your boy, Dr. Jeter Floyd. Yep. Peace and blessings once again. Thanks for chiming in. Like I said, we got my man here, Dr. Jeter. And I like the word doctor, man. Doctor on front of the brother's name, man. So, by the way, my brother Jeter, first of all, say hello to the people, man.
Good evening, family. Good evening.
That's what's up. And how was your day today, my brother?
It was a long day.
Long day? How so?
Working for the city, it never stops. There's always some issue, something going on. So I work in the Office of Diversity and Inclusion. So we're always trying to create new ideas, new innovations to make sure that we reach the people, right? Especially those diverse populations or, those ostracized people. So I'm always out there doing work.
That's what's up.
And I show up for the job prior to getting the job.
Yeah, I do see you a lot, man. You everywhere too, bro.
I have to.
You be on the grind. I see you everywhere.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
So I appreciate that in you, bro. Real talk. You know what I mean? Someone that's dedicated to what they're doing. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
No
yes,
doubt.
Sir.
So before we get started, once again, I want to make sure you guys can hear me. If you can put a chat inside the one inside the chat, is very much appreciated. Thank you so much if you can do that. Make sure you like and share the page. If you want to go over to YouTube, you can watch this on YouTube as well. If you're just chiming into the interview, go over to YouTube at David Adams Podcast, and you can press subscribe over there and watch the entire video there as well. All right. So we're going to get started with this interview, man. It's long awaited. I was trying to get my man up here for a minute, and finally I got a chance to get him. The brother is very busy, and I think he's holding a lot of titles down right now.
Yeah.
And so I appreciate the brother taking time out of his day to come up to DAP and just to give you guys a idea of what he looked forward to for the future of Jersey City. You know what I mean? Yeah. So the first question I'm going to ask you, brother, is going to be, what basically your background? Give me a little bit about yourself. For those who don't know you, tell me a little bit about yourself, your background, and what basically motivated you to go into public service.
Well, I was born in Jersey City, actually downtown Jersey City, Mama Street.
Right.
And I seen a lot of disparity. I seen a lot of things prior to knowing the word disparity. I seen it. I lived it. So, they got these cute cliches now, diversities.
Yeah.
But how can you call somebody diverse when I lived it? I've been engulfed in it. So I never seen the difference until you come into mainstream society and they tell you, well, you come from this background. So they label you, but it's not what you're called, it's what you answer to.
Mm.
So in that, I am more than a diverse person. I am Floyd Jeter, born and raised in Jersey City, grew up downtown, lived in Montgomery Project, lived in housing. I know what it felt like to go to the store with the color money.
Oh, the color money, them food
stamps.
Okay.
See, a lot of people don't understand that.
And purple, green.
Yeah, the big money is so. in order to do something different, I had to understand it. And sometimes we don't know what our differences are or who we are until we start growing through experiences.
That's true. That's true. So what made you want to get into public service?
I seen a lot of people who were coming to Jersey City, running Jersey City, that didn't have the heart of Jersey City. Jersey City is in my DNA.
Got it.
And, simple. So it's in my DNA.
So it affected you basically when you started seeing people coming in not from here, and you seeing what they do, and you like, hold up, this ain't right.
And what really, like triggered me is like, how can you lead me if you don't know me? How can you tell me what's good for me if you don't know the experiences of me?
That's a good point, bro. Good point.
There it is. So one of my mantras and one of my cliches is, I don't go to the circus because I don't mess with clowns.
Come on.
It's simple.
Word.
So I keep it 100. I got my issues. Nobody is flawless.
Right.
But what it is that I walk into my purpose and I know my purpose. Facts. I am a servant first and foremost. So everything else is just sound bites for them.
Facts.
This is life for me.
Right. Good point, brother. So as you was talking about diversity, you know what I mean, and it's complex here, you know what I mean? What personal experience prepared you to be, to represent the entire city? What's your experiences that made you to say, you know what, I got this?
I say it like this. Ceilings were low. Expectations were low for people who look like me. So when you're giving certain criteria to your life, not by you, you don't have the beginning of the book, but you can write the chapters. And right now I'm writing in chapters and it's looking real good for me because now I'm the author and finisher of what I am doing.
That's what's
so and when I say that, is not that I'm higher power. It's just that I believe in myself. And sometimes you gotta be exposed to different things, but skinfolk ain't always kinfolk. So you don't always learn from people who look like you. You learn from outside, but that's the diversity. That's when you're growing. Those are the experiences, and experiences causes you to see things differently.
That's right.
But you have to be able to embrace.
Right. That's what's up. Good point. Good point. What's your vision for Jersey City over the next 5-10 years, brother? What's your vision?
Jersey City is going to change dramatically.
I think so too.
With development, different people, different ideas. But the one thing we're not paying attention to is the young people. They use the term woke. It's not woke. They really realize their power. And sometimes when you know you have power, you start to think differently. Right. When you know better, you do better.
That's facts.
But you ask for things. You don't always ask for permission. They always like, I'd rather ask for permission than forgiveness. But sometimes you got to go out there, and sometimes you have to take it, not by force, but just saying, listen, some things I am not going to take. What you eat is not going to make me go to the bathroom. So I have a different palate. You might like pumpkin pie, I like sweet potato pie. So our difference is going to be different. But the idea is that you have to be open for those differences. You can't be closed-minded. And to lead a city like Jersey City to be in politics and I'm not a politician, so I don't use the word as loose as everyone else, but to just have a heart for people is what makes me different. Right. And I don't see a lot of that heart. So, and the people that are
coming up, you never really, you didn't feel that in people that was coming and leading in Jersey City years back. You wasn't feeling that. You wasn't feeling that they had a heart.
Yeah, it's not that they didn't have a heart, but if you never knew what it felt like to be damn near homeless, to go to a property store and get credit. They don't know what credit on the corner store look like. So, you come from privilege. I came from purpose.
Come on.
And sometimes we got to learn how to navigate life to the best of our ability.
Facts.
Everybody is not always against you, but everybody ain't always for you.
Facts.
And sometimes if you don't have a mind, you have to be an independent thinker.
Right.
And sometimes being an independent thinker causes you to question those that have authority. And I think that ruffled their feathers somewhat.
Right.
Well, who are you to ask me that? Yeah. I'm Floyd Jeter.
Right.
That's who I am.
Oh,
period.
That's what's up. So how do you define effective leadership in city government? Define that.
This is something I was thinking about, and I was talking to my man Keon. Effective leadership is being open, being accessible, being accountable. Like, listen, you vote us in, or politicians or whoever you vote in, they have a civic duty to answer your question. You the same way you get voted in, you could get voted out.
Right.
So you can't change or flip-flop when you get in office. You can't be avoiding people with hard questions because people see things. People want to do things differently, but they want answers. And I don't think anyone with a sound mind want a question answered, not to be, pushed to the side, or even
answered vaguely.
Yeah, there you go. I'm gonna get around there. Let me get back to you. No, you've been getting back to me for 4 years.
Yeah,
I need answers now. And sometimes putting people on the spot causes them to be at an alarm. But that's not my character. Anybody who knows me, I'm not a confrontational person.
Right.
However, I can get there because if you're not answering me, I need this answered.
Right.
And we have to demand answers from everybody in office. Period. There is nobody that is an exception to the rule.
Right.
No one.
Makes sense. I feel you. So what makes you different? Out of all the people that's running for that spot, what makes you different from all of them?
I wore many shoes. I was a hustler. I was a corporate guy. I was in academia. I taught children with autism. I want, and I'm in City Hall. So I've seen the different areas of growth in me, but also the lack of people. And the Bible says, my people perish for lack of knowledge.
Facts.
So the more knowledge you get, you shouldn't want to harbor that information or hoard that information. Right. You should want to give that out. So what I'm doing, I'm giving out information free. And sometimes people are like, well, you're a doctor, you did this. But I didn't become a doctor overnight. Right. It's through experience, through trials, tribulations, and sometimes those traumas. Yeah. When people are not answering you, when they think of you as a second-class citizen, even the Constitution said we're still 3/5 of a man. Why aren't they answering those questions? Those are the questions that we're asking. So I
always wondered, how come Obama didn't address that? Like, I don't know, maybe he did. I don't know. How come that's not going yet? It's still in that book. Like
because people are not. Sometimes we're not taught to question authority. Yeah. And you know the old saying, what goes on in my house stays in my house, but you don't question mama. Right. Mama could be wrong sometimes. Right. And that's a hard pill to swallow. Because really she'll rearrange your whole furniture. Right. But sometimes because of their background, because of their experiences, my mother grew up down south in Alabama. So there was a difference of how she looked at people and how she experienced. My mother's family was her grandfather or her father was really light. So when she visited their family, they had to go through the back door. Wow. So she those are traumas and experiences. Wow. What happens is we start to push those traditions on our kids. And as wrong as it is, but that's what she had. And sometimes you can't fault people for giving you all that they know. You can't. Because they haven't experienced what you have. They haven't seen it. Yeah. So people do what they are used to doing, and they pass that on from generation to generation.
Wow, that's deep, bro. So Jersey City residents often raise concerns about property taxes, affordability. What solutions you would bring to the council?
I believe transparency is crucial. Taxes are going to be there, but you have to have programs to make sure that seniors are kept in their house, programs that maybe help people fast track the owner there's a different mindset when you come from a renter to an owner as well. Right. So now if you're building that program and you're giving people those tools to succeed, they will succeed, and they will, because now you're asking them more so than telling them, and that's the problem with a lot of government officials and people. And I've probably been as guilty as them, because when I say that is we tell our kids do this and do that, but sometimes just asking, Johnny, what are you good at? What do you want to do?
Yeah,
You know,
that's a
I
good
might want to, you know, and it's always said, you know, you give a boy a truck and you give a young lady a doll or oven. But most of the chefs are men. So there's a flaw in the system. There's a glitch in the matrix.
Yes.
So you have to ask people, but programming and tax relief is a joint effort.
Right.
No one man has the answer, but if you come together collaboratively, I believe that their answer is within the people. But we have to put it on the table.
Okay.
We can't have somebody being a gatekeeper and not share the keys.
Do you feel like there's a lot of gatekeepers?
Oh, definitely. There's some gatekeepers.
Yeah.
Definitely some gatekeepers. and I am going to challenge the system because I want to be challenged. I don't want to come into something. I don't know it all. I have never held an office, official office in politics. So I want to know what it is. So I want to be able to talk to people. And that's how you have town halls.
Right.
I'm big on focus groups. And focus group is predominantly what you're asking the people. Then you do a survey, then you analyze it,
Right.
then you come up with a conclusion. Then you work through that. I'm a research guy. I'm a nerd.
No
I like to look behind the scene.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want the black and white. I want to know why and what was the mentality behind it. Exactly. So that's my challenge. I am not like nobody else. I am an independent thinker, but I'm also a person that don't believe that he knows it all.
So coming from Jersey City, man, like you just mentioned food stamps and all that, you know, I mean, and to have the title doctor on your name, bro, I mean, that's big, bro. I mean, what was it like coming from where you came from to now go through all the things you need to go through for as school and all that to get that doctor? What was that like for you?
In all sincerity and all honesty, I didn't weigh the cost. I didn't know what it would take. I didn't know the long hours. I didn't know being away from my family. I didn't know it causing ripples in my marriage and things like that. So I'm thinking I'm doing something right. And I sacrificed a lot and I'm paying a price. But the one thing I could say is that it will not be in vain. And the biggest thing that most people don't understand
What's that?
is come back and apologize. Come back and say, you know what, I'm sorry.
Come on.
This too shall pass, but the hurt is still there.
Yeah.
And sometimes we don't understand that hurt people hurt people.
Right. So you're saying basically what you're saying is going through all what you're going through, you had to leave a few people.
Oh, definitely.
People fell off.
And
That you love at that.
that you admire, love, and I think, you know, it's an old cliche, old saying, it's lonely at the top.
Oh, man.
And I never understood that because, you know,
bro.
who dressed, you know, everybody that dressed up is not invited to the party.
Come on, bro.
And sometimes we have to understand that much is given, much is expected.
Yeah.
And if I could publicly say to my family, I am sorry for not being there, you know, as always, they would say you could be present without a presence. I was present, but I didn't have a presence in a lot of times. So, you know, now I'm trying to make up through my grandkids. Right. So I'm a super granddad.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? I might have not been the best husband, the best father in certain terms, but I am getting it right now. So sometimes your beginnings don't dictate your endings.
So what would you like to say to those family members that you just mentioned something about, you know, sorry I couldn't be there. What would you like to say if they will watch this 20 years from now, what would you like to say to them right now?
It wasn't worth it to lose love for education. I believe education should be free, but I think it should be talked through the whole family. And sometimes I believe that in order to do anything really successfully, you need a team. And your family is your team because those are the ones who see you vulnerable. Those are the ones who see you naked and say, I still love you regardless of your flaws, your imperfections, the things that you didn't say. I'm saying it now. I love you without a shadow of a doubt. And there's nothing I won't do from here on to show you how much I love you.
Wow, man, that's dope, bro. I appreciate your transparency, brother, and your realness, and I think that's a type of person we need in office. That type of heart, bro. That's deep. You know what I mean? So I appreciate that. No doubt. Next question is going to be now.
And I'll probably mess up your notes and everything.
No, hey, bro. This is your platform right now. You know what I mean? I want you to get out whatever you want to get out right here, so it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? We can definitely go off strip. It don't matter. You know, the gentrification in Jersey City, development, you know, have helped many neighborhoods. How do you balance growth with protecting long-time residents in Jersey?
I believe that we need to hold developers accountable.
Yeah.
We understand that growth is inevitable, but we need to preserve those families that are here. We need to make sure that they are not pushed out. And a lot of times we're pushing them out for innovative ideas and new ways of doing things and closing off streets so that it makes good sense. It really doesn't make good sense because you're not hiring urban engineers who knows the city, that knows the desert areas, that knows that grandma needs the bus because the senior citizen building is on Ocean as opposed to MLK. So these things you have to address. You cannot go into this by yourself without knowledge or asking people. So I believe that in order for the city to flourish with everybody at the table, you have to build programs. I have a program that I believe that it will be incredible because it will help the developers get insight, but be a part of the community. And you need to invest in where you're building. And what I'm saying is we need to get the young people involved. We need to have apprenticeship programs with them so that now the GCs or the general contractors can hire locally. Now we're building an economic system, a status of people coming into a different mentality. And people take pride when they're getting paid, one thing, but also in the area they see them being developed and they're a part of that development. It's hard to build when people don't see the vision.
That's a fact. That's a fact. So public safety is always concerned. How do you see the council's role in addressing crime in the community, community relations with law enforcement?
Funny, I believe that police officers, a lot of them need to be from the area they are patrolling. And why? It's personal. And I teach juvenile delinquency at the college.
Right.
And there was a story in the book saying how police see African American youth and Caucasian youth. And this is apparent in how they deliver those results in crime.
Right.
Because if they seen, for name purposes, Abdul doing the same thing that Joey was doing, they take Joey home and say, listen, Joey was doing A, B, and C. Abdul goes to the youth house. Why is that? And we're perpetuating that same idea and that same ideology that we are less than. And it goes back to that 3/5. If you treat me like I am not worth anything, everything you do towards me is gonna show your respect or lack thereof for me. And sometimes we gotta change the narrative. And sometimes in order to change, you gotta be radical. You gotta do radical things. And that's not always saying that you need a gun. And I'm saying you got to be radical in your thinking and your approach and your ability. And you got to galvanize the people so that they are understanding of what the move look like.
Right.
You cannot ask somebody to come along if they don't know where they're going. I'm not jumping in the car and I don't know where I'm going. I don't want to be a passenger forever.
Yeah, and you got somebody driving that's blind.
Hello. Tell somebody.
All right. So Jersey City schools and youth programs face challenges. What policies or innovators would you champion for young people?
Funny, I was a part of a bill, Boys Undergoing Intense Leadership and Development.
Okay.
Well, Charles Maynard.
Charles Maynard, yeah. Good program.
Good program. We took over 70 or 80 boys that went and graduated from this. We taught them financial literacy, how to treat people, all of these things, basic things, what we took for granted because we always thought that was an innate ability. Everybody don't know that.
Right.
So some people have to be taught. So we took these boys, but that program is phenomenal. And I believe that if we have more program people, like program-minded people to do that for the youth, you know, we used to have midnight gym, after-school program and rec. There needs to be a recreation center in every ward, period. And this shouldn't be different in Ward F than A, than E, than D, than C, than B. It should all be the same because people are needing the same thing. And life is life and for everyone. And if we don't take charge, and this also, I met a young man maybe 7 years ago, and he has a STEM program, Gotta Go Gaming. And I went into the place, and it's awesome.
Beautiful.
Technology, STEM, kids were coding. I was amazed. Why are we promoting more of that?
Right.
Why are we holding funds for things like that? Why are people beating down Gotta Go Gaming door to say, hey, how do I help? How do I help build future leaders? We have to. And sometimes we got to take stake in our own. Sometimes we got to be the advocate. We got to be our biggest cheerleader. You know, I got the pom-poms in the car. Where you want me at? Because sometimes we don't champion enough for one another.
That's true.
We don't. And it goes way back to the Willie Lynch syndrome. So, you know, I am a learned person where I'm always learning stuff and seeing things. And if we keep perpetuating that same idea, it's almost looking at the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over, looking for different results. It's not going to happen.
Not going to happen.
So you have to be a catalyst in how things are going and what they're going to do. You have to be that person. And sometimes you have to be that change agent.
That's right.
Not everybody's willing to be a change agent. I'm a change agent.
Yeah, because you know what happens? I think when you that person to, you know, for change, you have to go against a lot of people. And people they want to be on both sides. They don't want to rub people the wrong way. And a lot of times, like you said, it's lonely at the top. And I think that when you want change, I really believe that you're going to make some people upset. You know what I mean?
We got a lot of lukewarm people. They warm one day, they hot one day, cold the other day. Listen, you either going to play the fence or get off. And sometimes you have to challenge those people that have authority. Even if I don't get in office, and I say this emphatically, even if I'm still going to be that person who champion for the small businesses, who look for youth program, who teaches, who talks about financial literacy, I'm still going to be the same Floyd Jeter, regardless with or without a title. I'm not doing this for sound bites. I'm doing this because it's from the heart. My passion is whatever it is, and I thank God for who I am. I don't make no excuses for being who I am.
So how do you keep Jersey City residents included, basically, or informed in your design or in your decision making?
Town halls, forums, question surveys, focus groups. We have excluded people for so long. Let's include them. You never know how big an idea is until you see the big idea. We didn't know that we was going to need chairs till somebody created a chair. We would have been a lot of standing up people right now. And so you got to look at things. And I thank God for just the small things, the people who actually stepped out and said, listen, let me try something new.
Real talk. Jersey City is one of the most, I would say, diverse cities in the country. How would you ensure all voices, especially minority and the immigrant communities, are represented?
Being that I'm the chief diversity officer for the city of Jersey City, I hear this, I see this, but we have to start putting things out in multi-language. Everybody don't speak English or Spanish. I think Jersey City has one of the, is at least, I think, 72 different languages spoken in Jersey City. So you have to be able to be accessible to all, but everything that the city does is, and this is my biggest thing, I would have a dashboard where transparency is there, where people can read up on what the contracts are going on, what the city is doing. So now we're being monitored because we are held accountable. We are held at a higher level. So I want to know where my tax dollars are. I want to know what you're doing, but I may not be able to understand it in English. So give it to me in my language. Because I voted you in. I could vote you out.
So it could be so you're saying basically have it on the site, whatever, you know?
Definitely on the site.
Language, there's no problem, you know, Spanish.
And some departments, I believe Health and Human Services, they have a drop-down box in a lot of their information, even on my website, where you could drop down to the language that you need. How much more would it be if we did every department, everybody did the same thing? Now everybody feels comfortable navigating the system. Now technology technology don't become foreign, quote unquote foreign is a plug. So now people understand, and now they can respond in kind.
That's what's. I mean, it goes right into the next question, which is accountability and transparency. Many voters feel disconnected from the government. How would you restore trust and transparency between the council and the public?
Me personally, if I vote on something, I will make my votes public. I'm not doing no secret votes. And that's a lot of times, you know, I'm gonna tell Dave, I'm gonna say no, but I didn't say yes. I want that. I mean, I think people need to know what you're thinking. And you still should be able to say no, but I'm gonna tell you why. See, we don't never tell her why. We just says no and just walk away. These are not kids.
Some detail.
You know, we used to tell kids, go clean your room. Why? You know, we gotta, people want to know the why behind your actions, behind what you're doing or not doing. Because there could be things that's happening and people gonna say, when I get in office, I'm gonna do this. We don't know what the books look like, first and foremost. So I can't make no promise. But what I can promise is I'm gonna be Floyd Jeter in those rooms and my voice is gonna be authentic and it's gonna be a people voice. David's gonna be in my ear like, yo, Jay, you know what I'm saying? What about the senior kid? What about the youth? Okay, these are things. Oh, somebody catch me on the corner. Listen, yo, what are we doing about public transportation? Now, those experiences and those voices are gonna mirror in my head, and I'm just like, all right, he said this. How do we do this? Let me get some engineers. Let me get some people who knows it, and let's kind of work together. Because I think sometimes each one teach one.
Definitely.
And no man is an island.
That's a fact. That's a fact. What do you think about, while we're on it, at least it's popped into my head, you know, and I know you may have spoke about this plenty of times probably yourself in different rooms, the one-way street. What you think about that?
They
said there was something that was passed a while back, but they never really got on it. What do you feel?
If I had Mike Tyson voice, I'd say it's ludicrous. we haven't checked in with the people. You know, wherever you go to a new block, a new area, there's a check-in. And nobody checked in. They just, somebody, I don't know who that somebody is. They, them, or them. They made that decision and never confided with the people
of the city.
And I don't know if it's what's going on with it, but I know for a fact that it don't make sense.
It really don't.
And sometimes you have to say it doesn't make sense. But give me the why.
Why are you doing it first?
Period. Let me know why.
Why does it make sense to do it?
And then let's have a debate about it. Let's have some understanding. Let's put it on the ballot for the community to vote on it. When you take away a person's voice, you leave them mute, and you'll never get authentic responses because you're working with people who are scared to use their voice. I want to be a politician or a person of interest where you can tell me what it is, and let's have an honest discussion.
Real talk.
Let's just communicate.
That's transparency. Makes sense. Makes sense. So, if you was elected, what is the first issue that you'll privatize in your first 100 days?
I talk about this a lot. I will launch maybe a workforce development, an authentic workforce development, back to what I said earlier, dealing with developers. Because we know what is being built. We know what areas or what trades are going to be needed.
Right.
Let's start channeling the people down that so that they'll have a job.
Yeah.
Let's build for the future as opposed to just say, oh, I need. Let's build for that need. Let's start looking at the need because there is not a building being made that they don't know how many nails they're going to need,
right.
what kind of sheetrock, who's going to do that, what kind of labor is needed.
Yep.
Let's start building that pool so now we don't have the few getting the most.
Right. Makes sense. So how can everyday Jersey City residents hold you accountable if you win? Because people talk about that all the time. Oh, they got that person there, and look what he did. This, that, and that. You know what I mean? He said he was going to do this for us, and look what happened.
I needed to take a drink on that one. Hold me accountable.
That's right.
Pull me up. Call me out. Oh, gee, you said you was going to do A, B, and C. What happened?
Right.
Let's have that conversation, intelligent conversation, and let me tell you what it is, because you may not know the background behind it.
Right.
And the reason why.
It could be a why. Yeah, it could be a why.
And that's going to be a theme across what we're saying now.
Right.
Why did he do that? Why did he vote that way? Why did he say this? Because we don't always know what it looks like.
Right.
We can only go in with a perspective of what we think it should be, but the reality is, we're in a deficit. We got things going on. The budget is crazy, and nobody is asking that question. Why?
Right.
Who holding the purse? Mama not holding the purse no more. Who holding the purse strings? So we have to ask those questions. Yeah. But we also got to be able to say, Dave, you made it. How do I help you fulfill that? See, a lot of people are not going to come across the line and say, hey, you was on this ticket, you was on that ticket. I don't care what ticket it is.
Right.
How do I help? Because I am genuinely for people.
That's what's up.
So if you are a representative and we voted you in, I'm one of the first going to challenge you and hold you accountable, just as well as I want to be held accountable. But don't get it twisted and hold me accountable and I don't know the information. Right. And don't come at me left eye and say, because you got to give me a chance to respond.
Right.
Because sometimes we want someone to get in office day one, change the world.
Change everything. And that's not going to happen.
That ain't going to happen, Kevin.
It's a process to everything.
There is a process. Yeah. But I think the process makes sense when we're in a place where we want to listen to what makes sense. Where we don't come in with preconceived notions and our own ideas, and we done concocted all this. This is what it's gonna. This ain't what it is.
Right.
This is not what it is. And sometimes we have to challenge the people that are in authority, and we gotta hold them accountable. As much as I say that, I need to be held accountable as well.
That's right. No doubt. Let's see. Why should the people of Jersey City put their confidence in Jeter?
I'm not running for a title. I'm running to be a servant.
Wow.
And servanthood is not a person, not a creed, color, a religion that I'm not willing to serve or sit down and have a conversation, because I believe if you see two people argue, you don't know who's the fool. So we're gonna cut the foolishness out, and we're gonna sit down and talk about it. We're gonna write it down. We're gonna write the vision and make it plain. And sometimes coming to the table just don't just come to the table with an appetite.
Right.
Bring something to the table, not just utensils.
Right. Not just a napkin.
Yeah, bring something. And I think that's what makes me different from everybody else. I stay in my lane. I know my lane. I'm boss in my lane. Nobody can beat me in my lane. Nobody. I don't care how many years you've been in, what you've done. And it's not cocky, it's confidence.
It's confidence.
Don't get it twisted, people. I'm not that guy. It's not a title for me. It's about just being a servant. And sometimes servanthood is not well received. And it's not always nice. It's not always peaches and cream.
In one sentence, what's your promise to the people? In one sentence.
My beginnings don't dictate my endings. And what I mean is, where we start is not where we finish. And I think progress comes with sacrifice. But in order to sacrifice, you have to have something that you're willing to sacrifice. And then a lot of terms, I sacrifice having a presence with my family. Present didn't work. Presence. And if you look at the definition for those people who are going to be like, what do you mean? Check it out. Read it up. Being present is just being here. Presence means that I believe in you. We rocking this out together.
No doubt.
So most people they told my mother I would be dead or in jail because of the environment I grew up in, where we grew up. There was no out. If you didn't play sports, if you didn't do this, you wouldn't be able to. I chose the latter and used my mind instead of using my hand or doing this and doing that. I wasn't built like that. My younger brother was built like that. You could put him in any kind of golf, basketball, volleyball. He was swimming.
Yeah.
The boy was good.
Right.
Lamont was that guy. Lamont Jeter is my little brother. He was good there.
That's his lane.
If we stayed in our lane, I leave it like this. Everybody has a position to play.
Facts.
You got to play your position. If I'm the doorkeeper, I'm gonna be the best dang doorkeeper. I'm gonna have my knobs it's gonna be like, yo, look at his door, because it's gonna be welcoming, because it's mine, and I know my position. People are playing positions that they are not really built for. They don't have the talent nor the skills, and nor the experience to do what I do.
Word.
You can't create me. Even if it was a twin, it wouldn't still be the same. I'm dope in real life.
That's what's up. That's what's up. We're gonna take a quick break real quick. And if you guys want to call in, you can do that. If you want to call in and ask Jeter a question, you want to put your comments or your questions on the comment board, you can do that. And we're gonna be right back in a minute, all right? To make a phone call, I'm going to put the number on the screen, and you can go ahead and make a phone call to ask Dr. Jeter a question, give a statement, or even just show some love. That's what you want to do. You can do that now. All right, you can go ahead and do that now. Phone number is on the screen to do that. All right. And I heard you have a book, bro. I remember hearing you had a book recently, as a matter of fact. Talk about that.
I just dropped a book on Amazon. It's called The Monsters That Live in Us All. Face the Shadows and Live Free. And it talks about, just a little bit of it talks about monsters. Monsters as fear, depression, self-sabotage, addiction. So those are the monsters. But in this book, I give you journal prompts. So once you read this, you can then say, okay, it gives you journal prompts so that now you can understand your monster and come up with something to help you get through that monster type mentality.
Right.
And I think it's an awesome book. It's on Amazon and it's only $12.99, so it ain't that much.
Yeah, that's a light dinner.
And then my thing is not. I like to share knowledge, and I think sometimes I believe education should be free.
Yeah.
I'm paying. I went to school for a doctorate, and I'm paying for it.
Yeah, some countries it's definitely free.
Yes. So so if I could get free knowledge out, and I could keep doing it and spreading the word, I believe that's my purpose, to always give.
No doubt. And how long did it take you to get this book out?
Well, this is really my 4th publication.
Oh wow.
I had one, which is my dissertation, which says too few Black male educators. Nice. And I also got a poetry book that I collaborated with someone called Visions 2020.
Nice.
And I have something printed in the scholarly journal, Impact Education. So I've been writing, and I have a book coming out hopefully by the end of this year or next year called Floyd Jeter story, 10 Toes Down.
Nice.
So
wow.
This is what I want to do. I want to constantly give, and sometimes much is given, much is expected.
No doubt.
And I don't mind being a nerd. I don't mind being a reader, a writer.
That's what's up.
And I challenge myself constantly, because I have 7 grandkids, and they're looking for Pop to do something. So I think sometimes we are put in positions for something, and sometimes when we find that something we're good at, and that's our lane, and we create things, and we become better. And I say this, since I've been running for office, I've given away more than I've actually received. And when I say that is, I gave a community cookout. Yeah. I worked with NJ Skate Shop. I gave a Caring Capable Hands. I gave 100 skateboards, 100 pair of sneakers, and 100 helmets out to the community. I had a fundraiser. I gave most of that away. But I have a fundraiser coming up October 8th called Sneakers and Blazers. Come through. October 8th.
And where's that going to be at?
That's going to be 90 Forest, the art district, 90 Forest. And what it is that I have somebody doing hats for everybody that comes in. You'll get your own airbrush hat. Yeah. We got good food. I got some dynamite young ladies cooking from Jersey City.
Got a hat right there. Let me see it. Let's promote that, man. Put that up.
These are the hats that's going to be given to everyone.
Nice.
Everybody that comes going to get an airbrush hat.
That's what's up.
And I want to plug Brian from Garden Greens. He's doing it for me. Mm-hmm. He's doing whoever comes there, they're going to get a hat. So what we're trying to do, we have the buttons 2B, and I'm on a ballot 2B.
Right.
Dr. Jeter 2B. So I believe in everything I'm doing, and I believe I am a force to be reckoned with, but I can't be that important if I don't have important people like you behind me. So please push it 2B on the ballot. Team Joyce.
So in the work of service, because you are a man of service, and I don't think they, I don't know if those who are here now even heard or know of all the things that you're doing right now. You're holding certain titles and spots right now. And what are they?
Okay. I am the Chief Diversity Officer for the City of Jersey City. Mm-hmm. I sit on five boards at Hudson Community College, the African American Outreach, the Cannabis Advisory Board, Curriculum, 2 other boards. I'm on the President Advisory Board.
Nice.
I've been a professor at NJCU for 10 years. I'm also on the President Advisory Board at New Jersey City University. I probably was one of the only municipalities that ever worked with all 3 colleges in the city to do free workshops for small business, minority-owned businesses. I believe in entrepreneurship. I am going to push out free workshops to make sure that you have access to capital grants. So I'm going to always be a servant. Mm-hmm. I'm also the second vice president in Jersey City NAACP. I sit on Hudson County Planning Board as co-chair. I was on Hudson County Mental Health Board for 6 years. I am a certified alcohol and drug counselor.
Come on, man.
So I'm here. I'm in my lane. Like I said, there's nobody in my lane. I just want to be a servant. Like I said, you vote for me. You got somebody real.
Wow.
Fake doesn't live here.
That's what's up. Man, how do you have the energy to, and you're active with that right now.
Right now.
You're active with all of those titles.
Yes.
How do you have a rest to sleep?
I don't sleep.
It reminds me of a song this guy I know made, and the song is titled, I Don't Sleep. Nice little hook. That's the hook. I don't sleep.
So, and my website is Jeter 2025. You need to go there. Experience. My website is like nobody else's website. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you. I even have my own song on there. Wow. So you got to go see it. But also, it's not it's not a brag. Mm-hmm. It's not about titles.
Right.
I'm telling you, I sacrificed a lot to be here, and now I'm trying to get that back with my family. I'm trying to get back in place. So sometimes, now that I got the equipment, I need the team to build a vision. And you guys are the team to push me forward, to be on the ballot.
That's what's up. You heard it right here from my man, Dr. Jeter. We thank you for coming on, man. I appreciate you being transparent, brother. You know what I mean?
Appreciate you.
It means a lot, brother. It means a lot. Thank you so much, brother.
And I want to say this.
Go ahead.
The studio's dope. Like you guys need to pull up. You need to be here, man, because we need more people like Dave to bring the message across. We shouldn't be just self-servants. Get it? We shouldn't self-serve. We need to serve people. We need to be in a place to help. You know what I'm saying? You cannot let your beginnings dictate your endings. And where you start is not where you're going to finish. It's your choice, your voice. Let it be heard.
If you want to call in to talk to him real quick, you can. Go ahead and the number on the screen right now, 973-433-5666. 973-433-5666. If you want to call in, go ahead and do that now, or just go ahead and put it on the comment board, all right? Much love and respect. I thank you guys for tuning in. Please do me the favor. I see about 4 shares. If you can share it, please share it and let the message get out for your boy, Dr. Jeter Floyd, all right? Much love and respect.
Floyd Jeter.
Floyd Jeter, okay. Yeah. That's what's up.
See, Dave just gave me a new name. So you,
hey, man,
on the ballot, if you see Jeter, you just flip it. As long as it says Dr. Floyd Jeter, Jeter Floyd, you got it.
Much love and respect. Thank you for tuning in, you guys. Peace and blessings. You have been DAP. Jeter said he ain't got nowhere to go. If you want to call in right now, go ahead and call in. You got any questions? You got any statements? Yeah, I got a question. I have a few brothers. I cut a few brothers here for years. And these brothers are qualified construction workers. But they are actually going out of the city for jobs. They're not able to get jobs here for some reason. It's always said to them that, either they're overqualified, stuff like that. So these cats are really upset, man. I mean, really upset. How would you, see to it that these brothers period, that is qualified? Now, they were told to go to school, do that. They got all their paperwork together. You know what I mean? 15, 20 years of construction, got in the union and all that, and they can't get jobs, bro.
First thing first, I believe a lot of that is going on because the people that are making the deals with the developers are not bringing in local contractors, first and foremost. And a lot of the local contractors are in galvanizing. Sometimes there's a force when you're united. And you may have to form your own co-op. And when I say that, and I emphasize, if you're an electrician, you're good at electrician or electricity, and another guy is good at sheetrock, right, you guys form a coalition, get someone else. And then you go after these public contracts. You go after these government contracts, these are municipal contracts. You come together under one umbrella and you all eat. See, the problem is not everybody want to come together to eat.
As one.
And sometimes it's good to just unite, and then you can venture off and do other things. But sometimes it takes a force for you to really be heard. And sometimes you need a group to be heard. That one individual is not always going to be that one. And I know some really great contractors haven't gotten a shot. I can't help why you didn't get a shot. But if I'm in office, we will be having those conversations to make sure that we hire locally, that we make sure that those diverse businesses get a shot. You know, that there is something that is in store with public contracts. But we have to come together. We can't come and blame anyone. We just got to come together and figure out a plan so that we all do the right thing. And I do the right thing for you.
I got another question. You know, my show started out with dealing with relationships. I started out in a shop called Barbershop Chronicles. And we talked about a lot of situations with relationships, male and female relationships. Are you married now? Are you in a relationship now?
Yes, I'm married.
Okay.
Yes.
What is it like, or how important it is for you to do what you do as far as all these different titles and trying to be elected also on top of that? How important is it to have a strong woman beside you?
Extremely important. Extremely important. And back to what I said earlier, you know, Dave put me on the spot. It's the presence that you have to be there so that they know what you're doing is not in vain and that you're making a future for you all. So if you got a strong woman, she should secure in her own, she don't mind you going out there to get that bacon.
Right.
But as long as we come home and fry it. And sometimes it has to be a collaborative. And I don't believe in the 50-50. I believe in 100-100.
Come on, man.
And I, you know, wasn't always as smart as I am in relationships as I am now and learning. And I'm just saying, as far as just recent, there is always development. But I believe that if you're with the right person, you're gonna rock out. And it's not always good. There's gonna be tough times.
Of course.
You know, you're gonna have to tighten up the belt. You know, you might have to skip a meal or two. But if we're doing it together, I believe that together we're better. Period.
That's what's up. Somebody mentioned subcontract that work. Subcontract that work.
Okay, I can. So subcontractors can work with the developers. So if the developers have a GC, which is a general contractor, subcontractors can come up under them, a local person. So that's the plan I want to do. That's what I would like to launch out. How to make sure that these contractors become subs. And subs is just someone who's worked under someone else's license and all of that. But the idea of a subcontractor is to become that contractor eventually.
Right.
And sometimes you may not have the capacity, you may not have the bonding capacity or the bonding. So a lot of these developers need $5 million bonds and all of this. As a local subcontractor, you may not have that. But if you go up under somebody and they really train you, I believe that you will not be a sub for long because you're going to see ways of how to improve. But you have to be able to have that conversation, but be put in position to succeed. And that a lot of times they haven't, subcontractors and local contractors have not always gotten the fair share. And I say that they haven't gotten the fair share. And that's one thing that I would challenge, but I will also triumph for. Because I believe that if you tell me what's going on, we're going to have a conversation. And I have had in my office many contractors, and we're trying to pull together a bunch of contractors just to do this. And I think a co-op and going under a co-op is going to be beneficial to us all and to them as business people to grow their business.
Okay. Any last words? You got any last words you want the people to know Whatever it is, I yield you the floor, brother.
Dave, I appreciate it.
No
And
doubt.
I, like I say, I'm going to be transparent as possible. As always, my job is to be a servant and to do the right thing. I may not always get it right, but my heart is in the right place, and it will constantly stay in the right place. And I thank you for that.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you coming here once again, brother. It means a lot, bro.
Thank you.
Much love and respect. Peace and blessings. Thank you guys for chiming in. Please share, like the page. You've been DAP. Peace and blessings.